Are we live? I think we're live. Hello there, guys, and welcome back to 100% Chelsea for another announcement video live stream of today. I mean, of course, Louis has already done one or two today already. But yeah, Kepa Arrizabalaga. I'm not quite sure on his pronunciation because, yes, he is Spanish, but he's Basque. And, their pronunciation of it. But, of course, Thibaut Courtois and, Thibaut Courtois leaving Chelsea was announced just a little while ago. And it was also announced that, Mateo Kovacic would join us, the other way, basically. And now, literally, 5 minutes ago or whatever, it has been announced that, Kepa would be joining Chelsea. And, I'm extremely happy about this. So who is Kepa? So obviously he's 23 years of age. He basically played at Athletic Bilbao for all his life. He joined them when he was 9 years old. And he's been there for a good while now. He's also been their starting keeper for a good few years now. He's Ernesto Valverde, the current Barcelona keeper, is who made him their starter there. And, he's a player that he just fits Sarri's system perfectly, if you will, because he's young, so he's kind of, the younger keepers are more like trained to play under a system like Sarri. They're more used to playing with their feet. They're more, just educated like that in the footballing sense that they have to be good with their feet and not just be a normal goalkeeper and save everything if you want. So, he's good with his feet. He's very good at, saving shots from close range, from long range. They called him, I don't know the Spanish term for it, but some sort of bird because he's so good at, just jumping about and making saves that look very good because he's flying about through his goal, basically. The one criticism that I've, seen when I've watched him, although that hasn't been all too much, I have to admit, because in all honesty, I don't watch Athletic Bilbao all that much. I mean, I'll see them when they play, I don't know, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, or, the odd game here and there. And also, I've seen a lot of other people mention this. He's not perfect at coming out for crosses and maybe commanding his box. But yet again, he's only 23 years of age, and that is still something that can be worked on. But again, he perfectly fits that Sarri system. I'm just scrolling through this article here, in all honesty, because I saw somewhere that he signed apparently a 7-year deal or something crazy, and I'm just figuring out if that's actually real. A 7-year contract. That is mental. Like, Chelsea said that on their, on their app, The Fifth Stand, which is a good app, by the way. If you haven't checked that out, download that. It's quite useful, I think. But a 7-year deal is quite long, so that will time to the club until he's 30. So certainly a young, long-term contract. And he's the most expensive goalkeeper of all time. So, I mean, you can't really complain about that. I mean, a lot of people have basically, Liverpool have signed the most expensive goalkeeper in the world in Alisson, and now they don't even have that anymore. Can Liverpool do anything right? Not really. I mean, of course, it's all a joke, Someone asked me on Twitter today, and I'm going to just mention this basically. Would I rather have Alisson or would I rather have Kepa? And in all honesty, I would have rather had Alisson. That's just being plain honest. But at the same time, 2 years ago, which, when Alisson was Kepa's age, the age that Kepa is at right now, Alisson just moved from Brazil to Roma and then spent his whole first season at Roma as the number 2 behind Wojciech Szczesny. You know what I mean? Like, Alisson had a great season last year and, he made a great move to Liverpool for himself. Would have loved him. But Kepa is younger, has a lot more experience in one of the top 5 leagues, obviously in the La Liga, has been playing for Athletic Bilbao as their starting goalkeeper for a good while now. He's also said to be extremely composed and stuff. And what I can do is read you out basically the comments that, Chelsea put up on their website. When he said, it's very important. It's a very important decision for me, for my career, and also for my personal life. So many things attracted me to the club. All the titles the club has won, the other players, the city, the English Premier League. It's an accumulation of things. And I'm very glad Chelsea has decided to trust me and to take me in as well. Of course, 71 million pounds, 80 million euros is a huge fee. But that was simply his buyout clause. I mean, what can you really do? Thibaut Courtois forced us to take a decision like that. He didn't really leave us another choice, except that he did, because we didn't just find out right now that he wanted to leave. So we could have figured this out much earlier, but at the end of the day, I think we got ourselves a very good goalkeeper here. So it could have been better. It could have been sorted a lot sooner rather than, 2 days, 3 days before the start of the Premier League. But we got it done. And, I'm much happier with Kepa than I would have been with Jack Butland, than I would have been with Jordan Pickford, than I would have been with Kasper Schmeichel. And, people ask me, why have you never mentioned him before? Do you not rate him? That kind of thing. The only reason why I've never mentioned Kepa in all of all summer long. First of all, there haven't been any reports about him, but I think that came from the same reasoning as, my own reasoning why I've never mentioned him. It's because I didn't expect Chelsea to pay anywhere near as much for a goalkeeper that isn't as well known to the public. But, people say, who is he? But like, people from England don't know who Kepa is. That's how people from Spain, Italy, Germany, France feel about Jack Butland. Do you know what I mean? They don't know who Jack Butland is. Who cares about Jack Butland? He got bloody relegated with Stoke. Not necessarily his fault, I'm not saying that, but he got relegated anyway. I mean, Kepa has been the number 2 to David De Gea as the Spanish national team goalkeeper. David De Gea is arguably the best goalkeeper in the world. So, Thibaut Courtois would be number 2 to De Gea in the Spanish national team, in my opinion, in most people's opinion. So he's a very good keeper. He's 23 years of age. He will only improve. He perfectly fits our system, which I think is a huge thing, because if we want to trust a manager like Maurizio Sarri, I think we need to put all of our eggs in that basket and fully trust him and fully back him, because otherwise this whole thing won't work. The club wants to be a club that plays attacking football, that plays attractive football, and wins their trophies that way. That's what the club wants to be. That's why, in my opinion, managers like Mourinho and Conte haven't really been, back as much as I hope that Sarri will be, because those players that Mourinho and Conte wanted weren't the type of players that the club wanted. But now, hopefully, and I think the club and the manager might want similar players. And, that is obviously great. Of course, what we have to talk about and have to mention, because that's just, the fact. Kepa almost joined Real Madrid in January for only £18 million, something like a bit over 20 million euros. That didn't happen because Zinedine Zidane, at the time still Real Madrid manager, basically vetoed that move and said, no, I'm not having it. I don't want a new keeper in the middle of the season and possibly disrupting the harmony in my dressing room. And that's why it didn't happen. Basically, I think Kepa even had his medical at Real Madrid. Basically, Kepa went back to Athletic Bilbao and signed a new deal, which also gave him a new release clause from rather than around 20 million to 80 million euros. So that's why we're paying this much. Yes, of course, could have all been sorted a lot quicker, a lot sooner, whether that is about Alisson or other goalkeepers. But it's a very good goalkeeper, in my opinion. And something else I want to touch upon, I haven't had time to watch what Louis said about this, but I'm going to give my take on it anyway, if he's touched on it already. People always gone about, why didn't we just pay that little bit more that would have, basically been Jan Oblak's buyout clause? Well, the thing is, Jan Oblak wouldn't want to join us. And why would he? I mean, Atletico have made a great few signings this summer. They've signed the likes of Lemar, but most importantly, they've managed to keep Antoine Griezmann, who, was heavily chased by Barcelona, and he decided against leaving Atletico Madrid for Barcelona and decided to stay. And they're in the Champions League. Why would Oblak leave them for us, even if we pay him a little bit more money? But that just wouldn't happen. So Kepa, at this stage, again, there has to be criticism going towards the board for not sorting things out quicker. But at this stage right now, Kepa is basically the best we could get. And at the end of the day, I'm not really bothered if we spend a lot of money, because we have to spend a lot of money. Because if we sign someone cheap, then we complain, why didn't we sign someone more expensive? Now that we signed someone more expensive, a lot of people are complaining that, why did we sign someone so expensive? It doesn't matter if he's expensive if he turns out to be good. If it turns out to be bad, different story. If it turns out to not work out at all, as how Alvaro Morata is looking like at the moment, hopefully that will change, but it's looking like that for Morata. If it goes like that, of course, it won't be great. But if it goes well, none of us will care. The tiniest amount of care will go towards how much it costs. Especially, it's a 7-year deal. Do you know how long 7 years? I don't think I've ever heard of a 7-year deal in football. I might be wrong. Or didn't someone sign a 10-year deal recently? I'm not sure whether that was legit. But 7-year deal is crazy. Like, that is a long old deal. There have been multiple reports as to how much money he's going to be earning. Earlier, there was talks about £125,000 a week. I saw some minor reports saying around 190,000. I don't necessarily believe that. But yeah, I mean, there's not that much more to say about Kepa. I think he's played around 100 league games at the highest level. Obviously he's had 2 loan moves away from Athletic Bilbao as well, 50 appearances in La Liga. And that's good. Like, he's 23 years of age and he's already played 50 games in La Liga. You can't really ask for more than that. Again, Alisson, at this age, had only just moved from the Brazilian league to Italy, to Roma. Like, I just want to make that clear again. But obviously, let's now have a little bit of a look at, your comments. Someone just said 7 years is way too much. Well, is it? Because, if Courtois had a 7-year deal, we would have gotten a lot more money for him right now than 35 million, which I still think is a bit of a piss take in all honesty, because I think even with a year remaining on his contract, I think we should have been able to sell him for a little bit more. But obviously with him going AWOL and all sorts, just get rid of him basically. People wanted me to speak about Kovacic. I've seen, obviously that has been confirmed earlier as well. I'm pretty sure Louis mentioned that. Surely he has. It was basically part of Courtois leaving and Kovacic joining us. Like that was basically Courtois going the one way and Kovacic is joining Chelsea on loan for the season. A lot of reliable reports are saying that there is an option to buy him at the end of the season. A lot of people, said that is the case, but it hasn't been officially mentioned by either Real Madrid or Chelsea. When compared to when Real Madrid loaned out James to Bayern Munich, they officially mentioned that Bayern Munich will have an option to sign him at the end of that loan deal. So, we'll have to wait and see. And to Ram Prakash, I'm really sorry if I butchered your name. Definitely prefer Kepa to Jordan Pickford, without a doubt. And about Fekir, I mean, all we can say is that it is reported that, we're trying. It is reported that Lyon have raised his price to £63 million, apparently, because they obviously want to keep him. But we're apparently still working on trying to get him, whether we will or not. To me, the fact that we got both Kovacic and Kepa done today suggests that there might still be something happening tomorrow, because we always do something on transfer deadline day, don't we? And tomorrow is transfer deadline day. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if we did get something on tomorrow, whether that's going to be Fekir or anyone else. Of course, there are these rumours that Manchester United are all of a sudden interested in Kurt Zouma, which I find very interesting. Of course, also Everton seem to be interested in loaning him from us. Possibly Chelsea might ask, all right, you want Zouma? Give us Martial then. Don't know if that's going to happen. I very much doubt it. I don't think Zaha will happen. I don't think Martial would happen. Possibly Fekir. We'll have to wait and see. I'm still kind of hoping for a left back, really, but it's not going to happen either. Someone's saying Kovacic or Barkley. See, that's the one thing I want to mention about Kovacic. He's had a good career, but maybe he made the move to Real Madrid a little bit early because he's obviously not been a starter. I wouldn't even say that's down to a lack of quality on his side, because he's 24 years old right now, and he has the likes of Luka Modric and Toni Kroos, or Toni Kroos if you want to pronounce it the English way, and obviously Casemiro as well, in that midfield three of Real Madrid. How is anyone going to get into there? Like, you could be anyone and you're going to struggle to get into their team. Someone like Kante might get into their team. Someone like Pogba might get into their team. Even those players don't have a guarantee to get into that midfield of Real Madrid, because it's just so good. I mean, there's a reason they've won 3 Champions Leagues in a row. There's a reason they've won 4 Champions Leagues in the last 5 years. Do you know what I mean? So I don't think Kovacic not playing all that much at Real Madrid should be our biggest concern. As I said, it's not been officially confirmed whether there is a buyback, an option to buy him at the end of the loan. It hasn't been officially confirmed whether it is the case or not. If it isn't, I don't see the point in this deal. I really don't, because we might as well use Barkley and Loftus-Cheek and improve them, rather than have someone here that plays for a year, might do all right for us, but in a year that we're not going to win the league. Okay, he might help us get top 4 compared to Barkley and Loftus-Cheek, fair enough. But at the end of the day, I mean, I don't know. If there's no option to buy him, I find it utterly useless. I hope there is. If there is, I think it's a very good move. I think it's a very smart move by Chelsea, because there's not much risk to it. If we don't like him at the end of the year, we can just send him back to Real Madrid. No ties. We don't have to sign him. We don't have to do what we're doing with Bakayoko right now and getting rid of him again because it hasn't worked out. So, Sky Italy confirmed what? Sky Italy confirmed what? Can you please elaborate on that, because I didn't see your message. But yeah, if there's a loan, if there is the option to buy him at the end of the loan, I think it's a very good move. The one thing that I'm not sure about is where Kovacic will play, because I personally don't see Kovacic fitting that or suiting that Hamsik role that obviously that Sarri implemented there, because Jorginho and Kante are basically set to start most games, when they're fit and when there's not going to be massive rotation. Jorginho and Kante will be the 2 starters in the register role, as the deep line playmaker, basically playing as the 6 but not acting as the 6, and then Kante on the right of him, and then there's that left, the left spot in that midfield 3 available. You have Ross Barkley, you have Ruben Loftus-Cheek, who looks like he's still staying even with us getting Kovacic, and you have Kovacic. I don't think that we just got in Kovacic to be backup to Kante, but that is the position I think that is best suited for Kovacic. I don't think we got him as a backup to play in that position. So he's probably going to start in that Hamsik role, and Sarri might slightly adapt things compared to how he did it at Napoli, because I don't think Kovacic can fill it the exact same way as Hamsik could. If we do sign Fekir, God knows where he's going to play. Is he going to play in a wing? Is he going to play a striker? Is he going to play in a Hamsik role? Who the bloody hell knows? Who the bloody hell knows? But yeah, I mean, you're sending a lot of questions. Louis asked me to do one thing. And, I want you to all put comments in here. Basically, I know Kepa is an easy name, and that works. His surname is complicated, but his first name works, and it's his Twitter handle as well, so it's clearly what he goes by. But we're kind of looking for a funny name for him, basically. You know how Azpilicueta is called Dave, and, Cesar isn't exactly difficult, is it? But, we're looking at things, people. I think Louis suggested to me Keith. Then he suggested to me Big Kev or something. And then he gave me another option as well. But me personally, I'd go with Keith. I mean, I'd just go with Kepa. But if not, let's just go with Keith. I find it funny. Let's just call him Keith. Why not? I mean, the poor guy. Imagine all of us are spamming him on social media. You just see Keith all over the shop, and he'll have no idea what's going on. Bloody hell. But yeah. I mean, guys, if you're coming in now and you have questions that I obviously just touched upon, just come back basically to when this stream is turned into a video, and you can watch everything that I've spoken about. But yeah, I hope you can't hear my cat, because my cat clearly wants to come in, but that's not happening right now, mate. But yeah, I don't really have much more to say. I'm quite happy with Kepa. I think he's a very promising keeper that suits Sarri, like I've said multiple times now. That the one thing that I want to mention is that he doesn't fluster on the big occasion, apparently. And that is huge. Like, a goalkeeper at this age that is fine with playing on a big stage and playing in the big games, that is huge, because you don't need a goalkeeper that makes mistakes because he's nervous, because he's young. You don't want that. And apparently he isn't like that at all. And that is obviously great. I mean, it is still a different country to him. It is a different language to him. I mean, I don't know how great his English is or not. We'll just have to wait and find out. But he's young, and Spain is in Europe, so his English is probably good enough. It's probably good enough, school and stuff. So it's probably not that bad. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, let me know what you're thinking. A lot of you are happy with it. A lot of you aren't happy with it. I can't let you see my cat right now, because I'd have to get up and get him in, and then he's moaning because he's a very noisy cat. So I can't really do that. Sorry, what is that question? Does it annoy me that we paid more for Kepa than Alisson is worth? No, it doesn't, because it's irrelevant to me. It's not my money that was spent. So I'm not all too bothered about it at all. We bought more potential, in my opinion. He's 2 years younger, and we only paid, 4 million more? I think Kepa could be better. Like I said, he's been playing in La Liga for multiple years now. And Alisson, at Kepa's current age, hasn't even played in Europe yet. And then for a full season was then back up to a Wojciech Szczesny. And I mean, we all have different opinions on Wojciech Szczesny, I suppose, but not denying that Alisson had a very good season last year, but and yes, please remember, this ain't FIFA. About Michy Batshuayi, I'm not sure if Louis touched on that as well. There is obviously talk that Valencia and also Sevilla are interested in getting his services. If Batshuayi ends up leaving, I'm pretty sure we're going to sign some sort of striker. Whether that's going to be Fekir, that's going to be used as a striker, even though his main position is the central attacker mid, which we don't have, so we're going to have to adapt him anyway. We'll have to find out. But if Batshuayi actually leaves, which I, by the way, would find to be the wrong decision, but I mean, also, Sarri has only seen him for a few days. This is the bad thing about the transfer window shutting early and the World Cup, shutting so close after the World Cup, because Sarri has only looked at these players like Batshuayi, like Loftus-Cheek, for less than a week, a few days basically, before he has to make a decision: do I want to keep them in the squad or not? We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, some people are always suggesting we should change the formation and this and that. Sarri won't change the formation. Sarri will keep to the 4-3-3. Sorry, of course, we're not Conte anymore. It will take a while to work. You don't be expecting us smacking everyone every week. That's not what we should expect for the first 2 months. I'm not expecting that, and I think we have to deal with that. As for Tammy Abraham, someone just mentioned his name. I read that he might even be staying, and that he might very well have impressed Sarri in training, and that he might be staying as an option. I would rather loan him out if we can get a good loan option for him in a mid-table Premier League team, because I think that will be better for his development. But yeah, I think I've spoken enough about. No, but Fekir is definitely not gone to Spurs. Definitely not, because Spurs don't make signings. They don't know how that works. But yeah, I think I've spoken about enough. Obviously, if anything comes out tomorrow, you will hear about it on here first. I mean, we're trying to be as quick as we can. We'll try to give you the best information on it as well. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Of course, do make sure, if you do subscribe to 100% Chelsea, if you haven't already, do make sure you do that. Also, don't forget to click the notification button and choose to be notified about all uploads, when we go live, when we upload videos, so you make sure that you don't miss any of that. Do make sure you drop a like on this if you're happy that we signed Kepa. Do drop a like on this just drop a like on this, really, because why not? There's 800 of you here and we're only on 103 likes. What are we doing? What are we doing, people? Come on, drop a like. I think I deserve this. I think we deserve this. It's 11:30 my time. I was getting ready for bed and then our Kepa is announced. Mental. And now I'm sat here doing the stream. Thank you, guys. More likes. No, I appreciate it. Also, if you wouldn't mind, do follow me on my social media. I massively appreciate it if you could do that. The links to them are down in the description below. It's Last 15-7 on both Instagram and Twitter. Especially on Instagram. I would really like to hit 1,000 followers there. Not that far off. So if you could, just a fraction of you that are here right now, if all of you want to head over to Instagram right now and follow me there, Last 15-7, and I'm doing all the fancy stories and, picture over there. Just follow me. I massively appreciate it. No, but seriously, thank you guys for watching. I'm happy with Kepa as a new keeper. Kepa Arrizabalaga, who knows? But yeah, let's go fucking mental. Monetization has been long out the window anyway. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. Up the Chelsea, and we'll see you next time. Where's this ending button? Ah, here it is.